Welcome to the Socialize forecast, July 9th, 2024, and I'm recording in a hotel room in Croatia. So that's my background for today, and I'm using a mobile microphone. Boom, because we don't stop. We keep going here at Socialize to bring you the trends, the content ideas, and the weekly updates. I'm going to start with just a little update that I think sometimes I feel that I need to help all generations know what things are trending, not just trends that are trending, but concepts that are trending. So, for example, when people started using the term receipts for their digital proof, that's an example of how something became a new term that people started using in everyday life now. You can say, I have the receipts for something. So, the latest one that I'm hearing a lot and seeing a lot is I think it's going to start going more mainstream, but it's like eyebrow blindness and I can't even say it, blush blindness. So if you don't know what this term is, let me explain. It's when you are clueless or blind to something that seems obvious to other people. And in a way that it's sort of negative, I guess. So when someone says you have eyebrow blindness, it means you don't see how bad your eyebrows are. Or if you have blush blindness, that you're a girl who puts on too much blush and you don't see, you're blind to your own situation, that you don't see how much it's bad or something like that. So that's the term. So you can have blindness to a lot of things now. I think the term is going to start being a little more widely used in a way indicating that you're oblivious to something that is obvious to other people. That's the best way to explain it. Okay, so if you don't know about eyebrow blindness, you're probably going to start seeing videos now of women that are being accused of it. And it's funny, and it's not, I don't think there's a lot of people being negative about it. I think the people who are being accused of having eyebrow blindness are even having fun responding to it. And so I think for now, I've only seen more in a fun light versus mean. Hopefully it's going to stay that way. That's number one update for today. The other thing I want to mention before I get started is that we do have the Influencer Talent Agent Expert Workshop coming up. So if you are interested in learning what talent agents do for influencers, how influencers get talent agents, this one's for you, and I think it's going to be really intriguing. So if you haven't signed up for it, the link to sign up is in the show notes, and it's also in the newsletter today. Now let's get to the trends. And the first one is one I used myself randomly because I saw somebody do it and I wanted to try it. And sometimes I just do random things just to try them out and test them on my own content. And this one got a lot of attention, and a lot of people started doing it when in the style that I did it. So what I saw was just people flying. It's this fly away with a filter thing. It's called I Am Flying is the filter. And people were just flying, and then sometimes the filter would turn off and you'd see that they were in their bed or on their couch, and it was kind of a funny blip in the effect. But when I did it, I accidentally kind of pushed my phone down and it looked like I was falling straight down. So I had the idea to do it as if I was free falling. And so I started my own version of the trend where a lot of people started copying me and doing this free falling effect. So I love it. I'm not going to say I started the trend because I didn't, but I am going to say I changed it up. And now a lot of people are doing the one that I did, which is all of a sudden you're free falling out of the sky. So you might be able to use a trend and make your own version of a trend that then becomes a new version of the trend. It's like Inception. Okay, the next one is called Corazon. Funny enough. And this is a quick CapCut template that you can use to show something you love. So a nice, easy one for businesses. You can actually jump in with your favorite product, a product that you love to represent, or a product that you love to use. So not for a business, but for an influencer who's trying to share a favorite product and get some attention from a brand. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. You can show your pet, you can show your baby, you can show your favorite makeup, you can show your favorite food. A lot of different ways to use this one, and it's so simple because it just creates a heart around your favorite thing. And the last one is called You're Breaking My Heart, and you can do a little lip sync. You're breaking my heart into itty bitty pieces, and you can use this to highlight something about your personality. You can do it to highlight if you're a mom where your children are leaving the nest. For example, you have adult children leaving. They're breaking your heart. Think of something that's breaking your heart that's related to your life. So another young lady used it where she wanted to name her children morning and afternoon or something like that, and her husband wasn't having it. So she was saying she was heartbroken because he didn't like her baby names that she chose. So there's lots of different ways you can do it. Just think about somebody who's breaking your heart for a reason, and maybe it could be a fun reason or a silly reason or a serious reason. All right, then original content ideas. Woo! So these are first one's inspired by my situation right now as a packing hack, because a lot of people enjoy to see other people packing. And I found this out because I made a couple of packing videos and I got a lot of comments on them of people either commenting on how I packed, saying I was efficient, or telling me their packing ideas and how they would do things differently. Some telling me I overpacked, some saying they can't believe I fit everything into that carry-on. So a lot of fun to make a packing video, and people get into it. People love organizational ones. So think about that. Another one is creating a vlog. So last week we did a whole podcast and newsletter about doing vlogs, and I started doing some here for my trip because I've just did a bike riding tour this morning. So I created a little vlog video about my bike tour. So you can make vlog content. Doesn't have to be day in the life. It could be something that you're doing, an event that you're attending. Think of something that you might like to do a vlog about. You don't have to talk in it. You can just do it with music. You can add voiceover after the fact, or you can just work through it with titles. You can also vlog in photo format, meaning you can do a slideshow carousel of your day as a vlog. So there's lots of different ways that you can share your experience. The last original content idea for this week is summer drink. This does not have to be alcoholic. You can beat the summer heat teach people how to beat the summer heat with your favorite beverage. So maybe it's a special style of lemonade you create, or some fizzy drink that you've come up with. And maybe it's an alcoholic beverage if that's your fancy. So you can share. Maybe there's a trick you have with making it, a special ingredient you add to it. Those types of things tend to get traction because it'll, just like the cottage cheese bread got traction. Like, who's making bread out of cottage cheese? A ton of people now because they saw it on TikTok. So maybe someone will be making your specialty drink. And now let's talk about the tutorial for today. Okay, I did a throwback one, and this is the inverted filter. Why? Because I still can't believe how many videos I see where people are holding things up and it's backwards. They're trying to convince you to buy a book and you can't even read the title. They're holding up their favorite beauty brand product and you can't read the title because it's backwards. And I did have someone ask me, is there a way to flip the camera? So I was like, oh my gosh, let me make a tutorial. And of course that one does very well. When I do tutorials on very, very simple, that I think are obvious things, a lot of times those are the ones that a lot of the new beginners find and they get excited to learn. So if you don't know, there is an inverted filter. You can simply tap when you're in TikTok. You can do the same thing in Instagram. And obviously you can just record in your regular camera if you don't want to turn do the flipping thing. There is the issue, and this goes into the questions I'm going to answer for today. So one of the questions is, when I use the inverted filter, can I also use a face filter? And unfortunately, TikTok only gives us the option to use one filter at a time. So that's a bummer for people who like to use beauty filters and then they want to also invert. Unfortunately, can't be done. You can use the inverted filter and then tap in the next screen. You can tap filters and you can choose a look, but it's not going to be a beauty filter that you're recording with, like the bold glamour filter or the redheaded filter or the ginger filter, whatever that one's called. So it is different. I mean, there are filter options, but they're not really good beauty filters that the women like to use, and women and men, everyone likes to use the filters. I don't really pay much attention to who's using them because maybe I have filter blindness. Maybe that's my term. But it's not really filter blindness on me because I just don't see the filters on other people. I just presume at face value that that's what they look like. So, all right. So that's question number 1 for today. The next 2 questions are related to comments. The first one is really frustrating because someone has said, where did my reply to comment with video go? And add to favorites in my comment section go? So let me just clarify. I have just recently, I guess my phone updated, and I have lost the ability to add a comment to my favorites on my phone, which is really upsetting because guess what? I do that a lot. I save comments for future reference to respond to. So I'm really upset that it's gone. But in any case, what I'm doing instead is I'm hitting reply to the comment when I'm about to when I used to hit add to favorites, I'm now just tapping on the comment. Right underneath it, it does say reply. And that when you tap that, you can reply with video usually. So I still have the ability to do that. I just can't save the comment for later. So what I do now is I hit reply, and then I just press record on my phone, and I just record like the blank wall in my room, just so I have maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds recorded as a reply. And then I save it in my draft. So that way, at least the comment is saved there. I can go back to that draft and delete my blank wall video and re-record something. So that's a little quick hack on how to work around that if you don't have the add to favorites on your comment now, which is really upsetting. That's it for today. Don't forget to leave a review. And if you can't leave a review, if your platform only allows you to hit 5 stars, that's fine. Just hit 5 stars. That'll help. If you do some kind of feedback, it does help the podcast. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.